I have no idea what you're talking about. In my defense, this microphone, there's a button on it, and you press it to make it stop flashing. About half the time when I press it, it doesn't work, and I have to press it again and again. Very flaky. I expect all these Yeti microphones are the same. Doesn't have good feeling. Speaking of good feelings, thought I'd get on. We're going to do our Friday stream is going to be about, yay, you guessed it, talking about 2020 vision stuff. So, no, I didn't check to see who else was on. Am I competing with Elgarion? Hold on, I'll go check. Let's see. Yep, House of Mangar's on. Skeggy. Z. Oh, got a lot of good people on. Waxman. And Party 1. Oh, let me get the chat bot up so I can start taking questions, which is probably going to be a big deal today. I didn't have anything planned for today. I was just going to talk in detail about some of the stuff on the agenda. If people had questions, I will answer those questions, but you can't ask them until I get this thing up. And good news. Good news, at least for my productivity, which is today is the first day back at school for my little one. So I don't have a family home all day long, destroying my productivity. Hey, thank you very much for the sub. And thank you for the raid Z. And thank you, Skeggy Media, for the raid. Thank you, guys. Let's see. So, I guess first thing, let me get back into my streaming habits. Start off today with... What do we have in the vault? Ah, there's a snow emote. Can't give that away, though. White reindeer. Interesting. Frozen bagpipes. Annoying. We'll do the frozen bagpipes. Bam. Hey, thank you very much, HT Genie. And thank you very much. Oh, and thank you very much, XX Killjoy 420. XX. Thank you for the raid. And thank you for the sub, Neferina. And let me get this thing up there. Giveaway. This will be the frozen bagpipes. Will be the first giveaway here. Has anyone tested the question thing? Is that up yet? I have added a question. I'm the first one. Hey, thank you very much, Catherine Rose. Thank you for the cheers. Cheers to you as well. All right, guys. I'm not seeing any questions going up there. I'm seeing lots of raffling. I want some questions. Primarily about this 2020 vision thing that I posted. So I'll wait a little while before I start blathering too much about it. Oh. Everybody have a good Christmas break? Ours was good. Finally 95% over whatever that horrible crud was. Although if you look at the weather here in Austin, we were just discussing at lunch today when we did our team lunch, which thanks very much to the BMC. They actually paid for our lunch today. Probably paid for our lunch this week and next week. It was also the first time that Elgarion joined us for a team lunch, so we could see the insanity. Although he was on Skype, and at least how he had it set up, he couldn't hear us very well. So we'll try and get a better setup for him next time, so he can hear us better. But good having him there. Let's see. I'm trying to think. He's got a pretty impressive beard. I was trying to go down the names, the faces of people in my brain. I think the non-beards outnumber the beards. For a while there at the company, there was just like everybody was beards. So I think we're doing a little better in terms of beards. 2020, screw 2020. What's going on for 2021? Oh, I can talk about that. I can BS about that stuff because that's so far out. Again, there's some things that we had on the list at one point that did not make my list. Again, I guess I'm up to 50 people here, and the other people can review this or go back. But that's one of the things, people that ask me what was different about this list than past list. I saw somebody posted in response to it. They posted don't believe the whatever because here's their 2-year plan they didn't get done. Well, if you actually go and read the post that they made, they were referencing the episode 2 through 5 list, not the 2-year plan. We actually did do pretty well on our year plan. Not everything, but we got a good chunk of stuff in there done. A lot of stuff we didn't get done because we changed directions on things to try to work on the stuff that actually felt like it was the best use of time. But anyway, so on what was different about the list that I put together, Star has always done an amazing job managing the team and still does do an amazing job managing the team. He actually was just scolding me because he only got one pass on editing my post before it went live, and he was going and fixing it up. So you may see a few things change. He said it was almost all typos and language and grammar stuff. I told him that's how they know it's authentic, that it's mine, not his. But anyways, but the thing that he's done different is he's tried to look at, he takes it from the feature side of view and what the players want, what would make the game best. I, being the super pragmatic guy and also the guy who has his hands more in the guts of everything, my list was made from me going down and actually looking at what I thought we could do with the staff we had, plus the staff we plan on adding over the next year. Which, of course, we just added one staff member, or actually 2 in the last few months, but one of them totally didn't expect to happen, but it was one of those things where, again, opportunity hire, made sense to bring Elgarion on. And the opportunity came up and absolutely jumped at it. But, again, the stuff that I have on mine, I think, honestly, when the team saw some of the people on the team freaked out on some of them, like, how are we going to do whatever? Like mounts is one of those things, and where the team hadn't thought it through. But I actually, for each one of those tasks, I kind of sat down and thought through what is the design of this. For some of them, wrote them out, although that's really the sanity test for those who haven't done game creation, game design stuff, or any type of design stuff. Is it's easy to have like an idea kind of rolling around in your head, but the real sanity check for it is, okay, you've got an idea, a design idea, that's great. Now write it down and explain it to someone. Don't sit there and even talk through it. Write it down, and that really helps you formalize those things. But anyways, again, while people were freaking out about mounts, the short version is I went and looked at a bunch of different games and how they handle mounts. There's only a few games. I think everybody remembers in their brain the most memorable, the games with the best, most memorable, whatever it is. That's everybody always imagines when they dream up features for games. They're trying to think of the best, what game did that best? And so you end up with this, if you go with that type of insanity on that, then you end up with, the best feature of every game all crammed into one, which would be great. But honestly, not possible even for the game, $1 billion budget game out there. I was going to insert a Star Citizen joke on that, but I'll bite my tongue. But anyways, the horses, mounts, again, once I sat down and actually explained to people what this meant within the team who hadn't heard me talk about it, it really equates to, we've got most of the tech we need. There's a handful of things that we need, but the simple way to explain how we implement it, okay, well, horses, we have horses in the game. We have the animation sets for horses that we need. The tech side of things that we need, again, people are like, it's going to be crazy hard. Well, all we're going to be doing is basically when the player moves around, he'll have a larger capsule, and if the capsule collides with stuff, it will dismount him immediately. And that's one of those things, too, is people are like, well, how are we going to have the dismount animation? What's the horse going to do? We're not going to do any of that stuff. Again, there's a few games that do that. Hardly any at all. I think everybody has like in their head, like when they think horses, like Skyrim. What does Skyrim do? And yes, Skyrim does an amazing freaking job with horses. Too good. But anyways, we will not be doing that level. We're going to be doing the, when you dismount, when you get attacked, you immediately dismount. If you go indoors, you immediately dismount. As for the tech of how to handle it, again, the shortest way to explain it is a horse is a moving chair. I know that sounds lame, but that honestly, if you think about like what chairs do and sitting down and all that stuff, most of the actual how we do things is already handled in there, including like upper body, lower body stuff. So again, explain it to the team as, don't think of it as a entirely new massive system. Think of it as a chair that moves. An animated chair that moves. So again, sometimes it's just when you look at these things, and I think that's one thing that I'm able to do differently with Star. When Star would made these lists, he interfaced with me a ton, but I think there are a lot of ideas on there that I just don't. Previously I didn't think we got the bang for the buck. This is a list of bang for the buck features that I think is what the game needs that we can do. This is not a pie in the sky, never going to happen list. Oh, and I think I missed some more stuff. I see is that another? Let's see. Did I miss somebody? Nefrino Shadowstorm? No, I think I'm caught up. Thank you, Sean Paxler, for the sub as well. But this is not a pie in the sky, not going to get it done in 10 years type thing. This is a list. Most of those things on those lists, I didn't put it on there without thinking through how we would implement this, what tasks were required. The one thing that we will need to hire some people for, again, is our world building. That we are, just as you guys have probably noticed, we haven't been doing much work or world building because that's not what we needed in terms of the team. But we're going to have to hire up a few more world builders now, probably start looking. And that is one of those jobs, just because there's such a steep learning curve, as Ravlox can vouch for. It is one that we will almost certainly be doing someone local to do that. And it's also, there's a lot of hands-on, a lot of face-to-face time, a lot of things break. So, anyways, let me see if I have any questions piling up here. Now that I've babbled for 17 minutes. Do. Da-na-na-na-da-da-na-da. Da-na-na-na-da-da-da-na-na-da-na-na. Merrick Dragon, this thing on. Yes. I like the easy ones. Skeggy Media, is the bot working? Yes. Also another easy one. Zelgatus39, what are the new spells you're adding to each tree? That I don't know. I have not designed out each and every spell that's going in there. Again, they're pretty individual, and I don't want to, that's not something that I felt I had to nail down. A lot of stuff I know what I'm going to be doing, but again, some of the specifics I have not nailed down. The plan for the spell trees is, and also for the melee trees as well. Melee? I always forget. I always say it wrong. Whichever way I do it, I'm wrong. But anyways, some of the combat trees, same thing. We're going to be looking to add, my goal is to add, in general, each tree will get one new skill that's just kind of a feature skill, and then one that is a new powerful skill, tier 6 skill. I call them tier 6. Some trees only go up to tier 4 right now. So it'd be tier 5 for those, but technically I'm calling them all tier 6. You know what I mean? A new most powerful spell. So they're all supposed to be getting a new most powerful spell, and they're all supposed to be getting a new single, basically something to, what is this skill tree missing? Which there's a lot of those where the skill tree's obviously missing some things. Again, Sun and Moon being the two most obvious ones that need some help to fill in the gaps. So as far as the specifics, I can't say that. I will say that, again, I'm planning on 2 is kind of the target number I'm putting for each of them. There's some skill trees, like the armors, that are weak enough that they'll probably get 3 as I try to boost those guys up. Let's see. Z of Silverdale. Are we ever going to be able to pattern over artifacts? I didn't put that in there. That's one that I don't think is going to take that much time. I just need to get a sit-down tutorial from Beezus on how to do that stuff. He, just like me, over the break, he was trying to work and incredibly distracted by his family. So we'll see. But that one I don't think will take that much time. Let's see. Bedouin, vision looks good, but it does mention at least one new scene per release. Is TikTok still planned? Sounded like not. So we will be going with more of a TikTok type thing. But it's one of those things rather than force the whole team, we have some stuff like, for instance, the episode 2 map and the NPC dialogue stuff, both of which at lunch today I have on record. It said in front of people that both those guys say that those will be ready to go in some form for this upcoming release, even with all the outages and vacations and illnesses and holidays and all that stuff. But there's some things that take 2 releases to get done. So I hate forcing this artificial, you can't do that because it is, that's a talk and we need ticks this release. So in general, though, I'm trying to make sure the schedule, I know it looks crazy on there, but the schedule, I tried to make sure that it wasn't everybody is running 100% all the time. So that we can actually focus on stuff. And while I may be cramming in features, that's one of the things is probably One and Only does a lot. Pretty much he's moved to be almost exclusively bug fix stuff. He doesn't add hardly any new features. He basically goes and cleans up behind me. That is not a fun job, by the way. I'm a messy person. If only could pan this camera so you could see my desk, you'd understand. Hollyhock, I noticed Stonegate changed governorship, but didn't see the template change. Is it in the works? Let me go check to see. I just saw that. Hold on a second. Sanyo posted his stand-up today. And he says, pot work, tasks, bugs. So maybe he just got that done. I was meant to do a new QA build last night, but I didn't get around to it. I was hoping we can get some of these bigger issues fixed. But I'll continue working on that. Oh, and I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to actually do a raffle when there's more than 10 minutes left in the stream. Oh, and also I can give an update on some of the stuff, not to steal Ravlox's thunder. Let's see. Let me do the raffle thing first. Hold on, I gotta find it. There it is. All right. And today, since I'm only doing this, will probably only be a 1-hour stream because I can't go long because the 5-year-old's riding the bus. I gotta get down to the bus stop, and the bus does not wait for parents who want to stream a little longer. But I'm going to be doing the 1-hour stream, but I will be crap. I'm gonna be doing, let's see, 20 minutes apart. What was I gonna say about the hour-long stream? Had a point. Brain. Holidays. All right. I know what I was going to say. For the giveaways here, I'm going to be doing I won't reset in between giveaways. So if you entered in the first one, you'll be in the second one. Feel free to do exclamation raffle. I know it's somewhat satisfying to do it, but you'll probably see that your name won't show up because I'm not going to reset each one. I'm just going to pick multiple times, one after the other. So anyways, let's do the first one here while I have a moment. Bam. House of Mangar. Are you kidding me? All right, I just opened it up. I'm not sure what the next one's going to be. Totally rigged. Let's see. I'll figure out the next one. Let me figure out what the next thing's going to be. I'll probably end up with a bigger prize at the end of the day. I'll do a Resurrection Chaos for the next one. Let me send this out to House of Mangar real quick. 15 emails. I'm sure I have some people from Friday who want some stuff. Answer my question. I'm going down the list in the order that they were received. You should have got here earlier. I know you were streaming. They send you your frozen bagpipes. Let's see, I'll make an extra one. Bam. All right, going back to my list, continuing on down my list. Let's see. Oh, you're way down the list. I see there. So Hollyhock on Stonegate. Sanyo's one of those really detail-oriented guys. He's another one that goes along behind me and like corrects me on stuff. Just very detail-oriented. So if it was in there, he's probably got it. Although it is one of those weird times of year because everybody was in and out, and a week goes by and your brain falls apart. So I'll check with him. Actually, I'll just copy your question over to our chat. And I do apologize for that taking longer than they normally take. HT, Genie UK, any news of repaired or locked items? That is an ongoing task, and it's one of those I keep saying I'm going to take over it. Honestly, I just keep falling behind on my stuff too, so I'm trying to make sure and stay on top of Wizard Smoke. But he's got the big task that I think he'll get done, and then he can go back to work on some other stuff, which is the player-created dialogue tree. Yeah, I know that one. The other one that I've been saying, I keep saying, if he doesn't fix it, I'm going to fix it. I do that a lot. Is the locked toolbar issue with pulling skills off locked toolbars. And maybe I'll just sit down and do that in the morning. I know it's not that hard. I know where the code lives. Griffler, excluding the 2 recent community members added. Who's on the current dev team? So for a while now, most people probably don't know this, but around the start of last year, we kind of went to a different model in terms of we were spending a ton of money. That's one of those things I don't even know if we ever talked to you guys about, but we were spending a ton of money on an employment company. So instead of it being, no one was doing payroll internally, we had this company that did it for us that had some pretty crazy fees, but they provided some insurance coverage and some other stuff like that at modest rates. But we actually sat down and looked at it, and we were spending a ton of money on that. And again, this was kind of when we were in the talking to the company about we need to make some radical changes to the company to make sure we stay productive and get the most we can done. That was pretty much the exact same time we moved from having an office to all working from home. But we moved most of the entire company to non-full-time but hourly people. So again, I think people saw we did lunch today at lunch. Sanyo wasn't there. One and Only is still with his daughter. Undone only comes to the lunches if I request it. I haven't been requesting it lately. He splits his time on stuff. So Wizard Smoke was there. I'm trying to think. Damon was there. Ravlox was there. Travis was there. I was there. And Beezus was there. Another person that helps out on occasion is Scotty. He does a lot of the stuff that goes into the store. But he actually right now, for those who know and keep up with him, is working crazy on a book. He's been missing working through lunches, which apparently he never does. If you know Scotty, he loves his lunches. He loves going out to lunches. They were just talking about that today, that he was so freaking busy on his book that I don't know what the deal is. I think he's got a deadline or something. Revlox, if he's in stream, can probably talk more about that. But he's going crazy on that stuff. And then, of course, Star. I'm trying to think who helps out on a pretty regularly basis. Anyways, the dev team hasn't changed that much in basically a year, though. There's been two departures that were both for women. They were both relationships. Again, different reasons for them, but both of them are going to be leaving town, heading out. But other than that, there really hasn't been much change. Lost a couple, gained a couple. Now, the thing we do need to add, though, is we need to get back. If you recall, 2 years ago, we had a pretty large team that was mostly filled with world builders. World building is time-consuming, to say the least. And that's one of the things, as I mentioned on the schedule, is if there's anything we're behind on that we have to hire for, it's world builders. So you can look forward to that. Let's see. Has the amount of deco spaces been corrected for the gnomes? Oh, I didn't know there was a problem with the gnomes. Let me go check and see what gnomes are. Gnome. Looking. Oh, I do have, it's on QA now. I guess I can show you on this one. I think I've got this set up. Let me swap over and show you the Unity editor here. Since I just swapped over to check the gnomes, let me see if, there we go. This is something that I've added that I've got it. It's actually on QA. See if I can remember how this works. Oh, there we go. This is, we can change stuff. You can kind of see what I'm doing there. But we can change how much or how little things can be scaled by object type. And this was just, there were some things like the town portals and stuff where there's no reason to keep it, a fixed number. We just kind of had it at 0.8 to 1.2 by default. But there's some things where you'd really like to scale them a little bit more. Just that they're made to be big, but they'd look cool inside. So anyways, I've got that in there now that we can go and set those. That is not a global thing where we've changed all of them so they can go from like 10x to 0.1 or something. But that is, we can set them by request or for things that make sense. I know also that there's been a ton of work done on the decos to make them pot decoable. Make everything that makes sense pot decoable. That's been one of Ravlox's things he's been championing. Oh, that's right. I was checking the gnomes. That's why I went over here. Let me turn that off and go find the gnome deco. And again, this is assuming I can find it here, which I'm sure I can. It'll only take a second to check these things. So decoration weight 1. Looks like they're all 1s now. So yes, I'm going to say it has been fixed. They're all deco weight 1. And if there's ever something like that where there's a number that's just off, that's actually a pretty good one to hit me up on a stream sometime and tell me about it, because I'll fix it right on the stream and then you'll know it's actually getting fixed. Griffler, don't let mounts worry you. I know a chap developing a Unity game by himself in an MMO, and he added mounts literally in 1 day by himself. So that's one of those things, I see that type of comment. I went and searched for the team size for WoW. And if you go and read like stuff like people are like, I guess there's like 3 or 4 programmers on the entire team. Okay, well there's like 100 programmers, but don't worry about that. Doing code, doing something, getting it in so it works versus getting it so it's actually in a live game is insanely different. It's kind of the difference between doing a demo and releasing a game. Doing a demo and demoing a feature is absolutely different than all the other stuff. People are always, there's a million things. The type of stuff that we're going to run into is, if I took this character as it is and threw it up on the horse, that'd be fine. The things that are going to be we have to deal with them are going to be stuff like, okay, well, what if I'm wearing a dress and I get on the horse? I mean, it's that type of stuff. Is a cloak colliding with the horse? The horse, getting knocked off the horse at the right times. Getting something in for prototype state in a day, absolutely believable. And also, again, adding it to a game that is not a live and actually being fully played game is fine. when you start talking about adding it to a game where you've got close to 1,000 animations and an animation tree and an animation structure, and you've got to do all that stuff, and players expect to be able to like do emotes when they're on the horse and stuff like that. Like there's all these crazy different stuff. But yes, it's easier than what people internally think, because I think we all set in our brain, we set a much higher standard for stuff. But it is one of those things that it's easy to get in, and then you have to fight with the bugs for a month. Okay, here's finally we got to House of Mangar Theater's question here. Will we get crit chance and crit damage multi on all damage skills? Probably. Again, I'm going to be going and adding the detailed stuff so you guys can actually see what's going on behind the verbose mode. But yes, that's going to be one of the things I'm going to be looking at. I mean, some things we intentionally do not have critical on, like if you cast a dot on somebody, we have it so you intentionally do not have it so you can critical on that stuff. But the answer is probably. You can give me some specific examples of things that don't have crit that you thought should have crit, and I can consider it if you want to. Scooby-Doo! Will Shroud be playable on Xbox or PS4? That's one of those things we get to ask this question a lot. And really now you should be asking, will it be on... Oh, crap, I forget the code name for Xbox. It's not Xbox One, but they've got the next-gen Xbox, and then also PS5 is what the cool kids are developing for. The challenges for it still remain the same. We could get our memory footprint down to a tight enough level that it would work on them. The bigger challenges for those two platforms are going to be getting it so you can map the... we barely have enough keys on our keyboard to make the game work, but coming up with interfaces and mapping all the interfaces so you can do everything on a console that you can do on a keyboard. But coming up with a mapping that's not insane and does not make you want to, jab your eyes out with spoons or whatever. Performance is another one that they hold up some performance stuff, and at least at this time, we don't perform great on a PC in some situations. In other situations, we perform, acceptably, but we'd have to get that up because they are pretty critical of that in terms of the approval stuff. Can we raise the amount of reagents you buy at once to 1,000 like water? Absolutely. I'm surprised they're not like that. Reagents are one that I thought you guys largely bought from other vendors, though. Let me see if I can find it real easy. Let's see. Nope. I may not be able to find that one easy. Let me check. Oh, no, I think I found them. Yes, I can go change that right now for you. You do. All right, looks like I might have lied. I did not find it. Yes, I will look at that. I will try to get that in. Hold on, let me add a note so I can at least go back to it. Increase merchant reagent cell count to 10K. Okay. So the answer to that is yes. I'm not sure. Again, that's one of those things for a while that we were trying to do, like all these limited economies and region-specific economies. And to some extent it worked, but honestly it was just tedious, and it's one of those things that it didn't improve the game much, and it was increasing tedium in people's lives. And so that's we've kind of moved away from that type of stuff. And that's one of those things that may be one of those leftover things. I mean, I think originally there was actually a lot of talk, and we do have the support for making it so, things can run out. And that's just one of those things trying to mimic UO or Ultima Online in some ways. Let's see. Merrick Dragon, what are the skill level and adventure level caps, and when will they be raised? So there are no caps now. So we don't plan on raising them. Technically the cap is at 200 for most of them. We could increase that 250, but nobody's close to 200 that I'm aware of. So I'll just go ahead and say yes, we raise it to 250. Cap for episode 2 is 250. Let me know when you get there. Done. Buccaneer, why Flame Fist can't crit? Apparently Travis is watching. He just informed me it's mathematically impossible to get to 200. We use... Mac might hit it in 20 years is his comment. Oh my god, you shared that. Yes, of course I'm sharing it. I'm streaming. I always tell people what I'm doing here. But we do use like 64-bit. At some time ago, we moved to 64-bit everything, probably like release 20 or something. But we have 64-bit everything, so we can get to really high numbers. But again, we kind of supported what is out there. When people get near 200 on something, we will go and look at it. The thing we're expecting more, I'm expecting more for kind of the super high-end type players for episode 2 is they're going to get up and they'll be pushing the limits on keeping all those skills up. In the 120, 130, maybe 140 range for the insane people. But moving to kind of an alternate advancement that gives slightly different systems. It's more of a perk system that you'll be able to earn perks. That'll be something that'll come out to give players an alternate way to advance. And part of that is because it's not fun to not make progress. It helps to feel like you're making, you just went adventuring, and at the end of it, you're somehow better than you were before. Maybe that's gear improvement, maybe that's skill improvements, and that you get that a lot early, but then it starts slowing down as you get up to higher level or higher and higher level. Having the perk system and having perks that we continue to add in that are just little things. And again, an example I would give is having one that is like you are sun magic resist. Thick skin, we'll call it a thick skin perk. And your thick skin perk, every level of perk you get in it gives +1 resist to sun magic. And it may be, and again, these are not going to be cheap. These will be for, maybe 1 million experience points for the first one, 2 million for the second point, 3 million for the third point, and so forth. They're not going to be cheap, but they're going to be an alternate thing that can let you push things a little bit more. And also when you're looking at the, 1 million experience points, that may be, an hour of outing. You may be able to get 1 or 2 perks at that. It'll also be something rather than you have to earn the experience and then you have to, repeatedly apply the experience. You have to manage stuff. It'll probably be one. Right now, the plan is to make that something so you can pick your perks, and you'll just have kind of a perk window that you'll be able to go down and pick your perks and spend the experience points. So you can just go the whole adventure, and then at the end of the adventure or whatever, you can be like, yeah, I'm getting 2 more points of fire resist. But anyways. Buccaneer, why can't Flame Fist crit? That is a good question. I thought Flame Fist, the initial hit from Flame Fist should be able to hit. The follow-up ticks should not be able to crit, I think. Let's see. But I can look at that if that's one of the ones that Zol guy was trying to tell me about. Hey, thank you very much, Catherine Rose. Thank you. Oh, and also thank you again, HT Genie UK, and I missed Candor Atlantica and Z, and man, thank you guys. Oh, and we're another 20 minutes in, so let me do a giveaway, and then I'll do one more giveaway at 3 o'clock at the end. So you guys ready? Let's see. Scorpio. Thank you, House of Mangar. Scorpio is the code name for the Xbox, or the next Xbox, the Xbox 2. Again, Microsoft and their naming conventions. Let's see. You guys ready? Yeah, you guys are all raffled. Like I said, I did not redo it. And I'll make the final prize of the day a pretty good prize, since Catherine Rose, especially, and many others have been fairly generous today on the stream. You guys ready? Bam. Mad Jock. whoever you are, I will find you and I will give you a prize. How's my Liam Neeson? Is it good? Liam Neeson is everywhere. He has such a distinctive voice too. That's I've been reading Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to my daughter in bed each night. We read a chapter and we finished Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and that's, I've told her that's the reward, is when we finish one of the books. You know, she loves the book, but then we watch the movie. We just watched Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe this last weekend, and that's Liam Neeson plays Aslan. Yeah, that was another one of those books too I read as a kid, and then like when I was like 25 years old or something, someone was talking about it, and they're like, yeah, I didn't like it because there were too many religious references in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I was like, what? There's no religious references? And it's like, oh yeah, yeah. Mad Jock is Mad Jock. All right. What was I giving away this time? I forget. I was doing the Resurrection Chaos. All right, let me send that out to you, Mad Jock, and then I will do the next one. Chaos. Well, look, a Queen of Chaos, Dev Home. No, I'm not going to give that away today. Maybe we can do that as like a big giveaway sometime. Except you can't do that one. Maybe I'll have to name it up. Star would be mad if I gave away his house. Grats. All right, let me find one more good prize here. Yeah, it's the garden gnomes. These are the ones I just checked, and they are all one weight. Like they only take up one spot for deco stuff. We will do I like giving away these townhomes. It's kind of a sneaky one, because then like if you have a village and like maybe you're thinking like, oh, I'll upgrade to get it. Town water home. Except I think I've given away all these guys. No one likes my stone keep. I think it's awesome. So I'll just do a village home instead. I'll do, how about we'll do the Gothic Mansion 3-story. I'm not sure why this one costs more than this one over here. But here it is. We're going to do that one. Gothic Mansion 3-story with the Widow's Walk Village Home. Bam. All right. Well, you guys haven't been giving me too many questions on... let me allow entries again. Again, I did not wipe this time, so it is just... If you're in there, you're already in there. You guys haven't been giving me too many questions about the 2020 stuff. Let's see. Malum Calfire. There are still artifacts that are not combinable. It's really down to like, I think there's like 5 or 6. It's one directory. I have all the artifacts sorted into the release I put them in, and I noticed I missed one release's worth of artifacts. So yes, I do plan on fixing that soon. Not sure it's going to be this release. Again, I've got my hands full with this release. But I am going to try to get some stuff out there. I owe somebody some taming artifacts. I'm not sure how I owe them taming artifacts, but I do. And there's a number of other things. I may get in another armor set. We'll see. Zelgadis 39. Does Beezus really exist? Yes, I think he's actually in the picture I tweeted out today from lunch. I kind of took pictures without really telling the team. Why am I not seeing my... There it is. Yes, he is absolutely in the picture. If you look at the picture that I tweeted out and you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see a baseball cap. That's him. And yeah, I guess no, everybody has a beard. I just don't even notice beards anymore. Because I know Beezus has a beard, Wizard Smoke has a beard, List has a beard, Ravlox has a beard. So again, I'm still outnumbered by beards. All right, back to more rapid fire questioning here. Scooby-Doo, can the koala pets please be town spawn type, not summon type? Maybe we'll do one of each. Or I'm trying to think what challenges we might have. We have it be both. You can use it as a summon pet, or you can use it as a town deco pet. I'm going to see. I'm going to look at that. We try to modularize things pretty well. So if it's, we can add new features to it. And I think that may be one that we may be able to make those things both types. Z of Silverdale. So this is one that I'm trying to train up Ravlox on. I'm hoping he can start helping with those things. He's actually starting working on dungeon stuff. But I will try and I'll put that on my short list for this week too. I'm trying to not get too distracted this week because I should have bards ready to go live to QA by the end of the week if I focus on it. The Rise Shaft deco surfaces, but I am the worst on doing deco surfaces for dungeon rooms. Usually, again, as I mentioned earlier, like List and other guys will go along clean up behind. I get a lot done, but usually a little cleanup work afterwards. Let's see. When is the new mining scene? Auden Bjornsson. The new mining scene. For those who didn't see it, I put it on the list just because that's one that we had I'd talked about with a few people, and I really like the idea, and also know how it can be made pretty quickly and effectively. Which is there's going to be a new mining scene, which I know miners always are like, bring us new mines. So this will be probably the second scene that will go live in episode 2 map. It may go live in 75. We'll see how quickly it comes along. The Hall of Balance is the one that has to get out there first, which is basically Challenge Dungeon 2.0 or Compendium of Pain and Suffering or whatever that is. It's the sequel to that basically starts where that one left off. That'll be basically room 1. And I'm not using anything from it, just the similar type tech where it's kind of a linear progression thing. But the mine, rather than being just yet another hole in the ground with some ore here and some ore there and some ore there, it's actually a canyon, slot canyon type thing where it's long walking paths, but it's a large map, but it's all big slot canyon. You're basically down in the bottom of the slot canyon the entire map. But again, I want to do something a little different feeling than what we'd done before. And again, that feels very different to me, and it also makes for some cool like pathing type stuff of patrols that come through. The current plan, my plan was to have it be kobolds down there, but we'll see what ends up as the actual thing you're competing for to get more resources. But the kind of the short version is it'll be a higher tier. It'll be like tier 10 to 15. It'll be probably the toughest mine by far, but also have the best rewards. There'll be, the other thing is having some nodes that are safe that you can get to, that are decent, but the further you push into enemy territory, the more quality nodes you can get to. Let's see. Oh, I skipped over Dart and Obscuros. Are any improvements to agriculture and brewing plan? Fertilizer/alcohol buffs. There will be alcohol buffs. I actually already created some files for that, so I took progress on that. Elrond, one of the guys who gives me lots of great feedback and great advice on stuff, has been asking for that for a while, and rightfully so. You have to be super patient for it, and then you get it, and then it's absolutely nothing except something to use at a dance party. So those will be coming. The fertilizer is one that I leave to be. Again, if you saw, there's little detail and crafting stuff that we are going to be adding some stuff to it. You guys know about that stuff. We've talked about a million things, and I know that he can't get all of it done. I'm going to let him refine that, and we'll probably get some more clarity as to what that is. I know it's going to be a lot of various things. But agriculture, not sure about the fertilizer part of it, but there's definitely going to be some new agriculture stuff coming up. But that is more, again, if you look at it, when I was looking at the schedule and I was planning all that stuff, I was actually, when I put something down, I'd go back over the quarter and try to figure out like who's doing it and how much time are they spending trying to add up to come up with a number to make sure everybody's 100% loaded for the release. And B is actually one of those guys where he has a lot of edge work, stuff that you guys don't notice that much that he ends up doing. So he's one that's tough to figure out how much time. He may have more time sooner than I thought, but no guarantees. Let's see. When will we be able to put pets in dungeons? I thought I set that so you guys could put pets in dungeons. I guess not. I guess you guys are... maybe you're talking about normal pets, normal deco pets, not pot pets. Let's see. Pets in dungeons. Not deco. Let's see. Dark and Obscure. For the episode 2 quests, are they going to be created using the same tool available to players, Inky, Lua, etc.? So Lua will not be used for the internal quests. One of the challenges we have with the new quest system, that is, we want to make sure that we aren't reproducing some of the problems in the first quest system, which had, again, it's one of the challenges of doing things for online and offline, as where a lot of the problems came with it. But there's a lot of state for the episode 1 stuff that stayed local. There's also a lot of basically infinite combinations of ways you can get to a point type stuff in that. We're trying to make sure there's more finite ways you can get there. If you've played with Inky, you kind of see that it's more of a state tree type thing than a trying to be a language parser. As cool as kind of some of the language parser stuff was, it caused a lot of problems. Not just in terms of, creating a million different ways you can do something, and 999,000 of them are wrong, but also in terms of things like language, trying to get it to other languages. So trying to get it to another language when you have like some type of language parser is freaking impossible. But and it's not just you have to that's simple. Just put keywords in. They got to say the right keyword. Well, in most languages, context is super important in terms of what words mean, and trying to come up with that context to explain things is really difficult. So everybody tries to put things in terms of how English works, and not all languages are like that. So but anyway, so we will be using Inky as part of the base for the new one. We're going to have more tools internally, but one of the key things we want to make sure is we are using the same tools internally that we are handing to you guys. We will have some extra magic that we can do. Obviously, we can do stuff like, you guys do a quest and you may have it so it opens a chest for you or whatever. We do a thing and we're going to give you an actual loot bag that's generated by the server, and that type of stuff. Or we can give you 100,000 experience points. So we're going to have more stuff available to you, but we think it's really important going forward, wherever we can, that when we create stuff, that basically when we're making stuff for you, that we're also using it. We want to take our own medicine or whatever little saying you want to have with it. But we want to make sure we're using the same tools you guys are using wherever possible, so that it'll help both of us, because you guys will find problems for us and we'll find problems for you guys. So, and we'll have to fix them, so you guys know you'll have a solid system on your end. Again, the progress on that has been pretty quick, and we will see, but it should be going in R74. Just talked to Wizard Smoke about it today, and he seemed pretty confident that it was going to be going in. Maybe not 100% feature complete, but it'll be in there, and you guys should be able to play with it. Hopefully, he said within the next week or two that it'll be to a point that it'll be on QA. So, soon. Let's see. Can deco pets be allowed to be in player dungeons? Okay. So I just made a note about that. Some of us would like to display our pets. Are we getting a pet as deco option at some point still? No movement or behaviors. That's interesting. Again, I just mentioned the whole, we can combine how things work. And I'm not sure, because right now, you can't place a pet as a deco. We should be able to add a deco to it and set what thing it creates. There may be some challenges in that we use a different system for tamed pets, if you're talking about that. Tame pets have a lot of different data going on them that they wouldn't use the same system. That may be a little challenging, but I'll check it out. Let's see. Can you place a nicer looking house so we can stare at that instead of at the ugly brick wall? This is what Maxine says my game is. She says, Dad, are you playing your game? That doesn't look like your game. You're not staring at a wall. Oh, and it's also begun my proud dad moment of I heard Maxine They were looking at my wife, her mom was showing her calico critters. She really likes calico critters. And they were going through some store looking at them in the web page, and my wife kept trying to scroll down, and she was having trouble clicking on the scroll bar. And I heard Maxine tell her, "Mom, just turn the mouse button and it'll go down." And then I hear my wife say, "What?" And then I hear her say, "Oh!" So apparently my wife has never known that the middle of the mouse wheel makes stuff go up and down. She said her excuse was that at work the mouse wheel on her mouse is broken, so she didn't know that and she didn't use it. So anyways, that's the start. Maxine helping her parents to use computers. Let's see. Gaylord and Hammerthrow, can we capture screenshots and save them in-game as pictures to hang on a wall? So I'm trying to think how we would do that. So you could do it locally for you. If we let you upload to our data server, then we'd have tons of data piling up on that. If we let you reference an image somewhere else on the internet, then we would suddenly have porn galleries. I'm just trying to walk through all the possible ways it could happen that would not destroy the universe. I don't see a good way to make that happen right now. Again, we're about to do some more opening up of things, as we mentioned. I'm going to be getting a new server that is not at our data center that I can use. I can be a little more loosey-goosey with on security and add a few community people to it. That's going to be our new torrent seed box, torrent tracker box. But it will also host the new is the old is the new again, the new Soda Maps website that it's going to have. It's got a couple of NVMe drives, if you guys know what that means, rated NVMe drives, so that it can serve up data to you guys. But that's something that maybe we can come up with a way that you can capture screenshots to that. Interesting. Interesting idea, but lots of challenges involved in that. Oh, and it is now after 3 o'clock, so I need to do one more question here, and then I will go do the last prize, and then I got to go take care of a baby. In fact, let me check my bus. There's a bus app we have. Actually shows where the bus is. Okay, the bus has not left school. I got time. Tons of time. I'll answer a couple more. What is the ETA for the fix of Dragon or Combat Bar? So this is actually one of the highest. I get hit on this at least once a day. So I really will try and give this a fix tomorrow. It'll cost you bards. Well, I'll get the fix in for you. Let's see. Hold on. And this is another one where this is some quality of life stuff that the devs don't see as much as they should because we don't play as much as we should. Rinaldi the Green Guy, our QA reward is going to be issued again. I don't think we really stopped. I think we just don't have the person who used to do that handing out. That was one of the guys who still helps us occasionally. Burning Toad would do that, but he's the one that actually now lives in New York with Richard. So he still helps us with stuff. He just doesn't work for us full time. He has a new exciting life. But yeah, I just need to assign someone to that. And also, he's a good friend. I see him whenever I can. Just saw him at ACL Fest a few months ago. And we're planning a hiking trip. So he's one of those guys that will help us out forever as much as needed. We try to only harass him in emergencies. I do occasionally text him, by the way. Just in like, when I get up early or whatever, just to annoy him, text him and say, "The servers are down!" Just to see if he responds. Yes, I am mean. Let's see. Z of Silverdale. At Silverdale. For Lua, are we able to get final calculations for things like dodge or total crit percent, not just mod info used against the map? So I'm hoping you guys, I can expose some of this stuff. It's one of those things where it's tough because you guys would have to like pull. I guess I could add an on attack. Maybe that's how I should expose this stuff. I've been fighting through trying to come up with some stuff, and maybe that's the best way to expose this to you guys, is adding a Lua function that is an on attack, on cast, whatever function, where I call that function, if you know the Lua stuff, you can register for a function. Basically, you don't register for it, I register it. You guys just, if you have a function named on attack, it'll go in there, and then you'll be a bunch of variables that are set for it that are exposed, and then you guys can print out, figure out what you want, and then I can just set all those variables for you if you have that defined. And for those who don't know anything about that, you don't have to. There's tons of players out there. Just tell Devil Cold, he'll do it. But that's one that as soon as I get more features in there, I'm sure some more people are also going to be doing it. Candor Atlantica. Player lots in NPC town in episode 2. The general sentiment is new. I'm still in favor of having a few lots in there, but just for those who really, really want to be in the lot. But again, it's one of those things, as soon as we add them in there, it does do some damage. You know, we can't have a fixed performance mark as soon as we have player lots in a place. Because you guys can go out there and put, 27 flaming horse statues or whatever out front, stacked on your roof and stacked in a tower on your 12 level garden that you've built. You know what I'm talking about. But right now we're leaning towards no, that the towns will be exclusively for NPCs. And it's also because players tend to like the pot towns better. They do a much better job. They're much stronger for the community. Even now, as I go and look around, most of the big cities are filled in episode 1, like the important cities are mostly filled. But again, the pots are far more popular. So right now we're leaning towards no. We had said that there'd be a few. Right now, there's going to be the first 3 cities that are getting done are going to be for the main storyline. And those almost certainly will not have it, because those are going to be, there'll be multiple quest steps in each one of those, rather than having you run to, this town and do one thing there, and then run completely around and do one thing there, and then run to this one, we're skipping a lot of that stuff. There'll be a couple of key towns so you guys can actually get to know the town, rather than it being, let me go look at a map, because I don't know the town at all, because I've never been here before, and I'll never be here again. Let's see. But I am guessing it is 3:07. I am guessing I need to get off. It says 14-minute ETA. I'm not sure I trust that right now. This morning the bus driver did not start the meter. Haha. Now it says 10 minutes. Now we're talking. Now that's what I'm expecting. So let me do one more drawing here and say my farewells and find somebody to raid. Let's see. I was doing that house, the Widow Walk house or whatever. Are you guys about ready here? Can we get the Queen of Chaos for offline? Ooh, interesting. Yeah, we should add that to a merchant for offline so you can all pretend to be Star offline. Oh, and Merrick Dragon, Winter Tamer's getting a taming crook. That's a good idea. That's a pretty easy one. I'm sure we can find that. One of the biggest things I'm excited about for episode 2, just mention that, is actually bringing some more creatures on that we've talked it over, making commitment to get some more creatures in there, many of which will be tameable, not all of them. All right, now I gotta do the winter thing. You guys ready? Here we go. Bam. We're not giving you 2, Mad Jock. I'll tell you what, Mad Jack. I'll send you one too, but I'll make it no trade. I'll send you an extra one. Here we go. I'm gonna draw one more here. Yeah, in case you're wondering, I think for a while there, at least in the early days, people were thinking I did rig this. No, the system sucks. It just has bad random number generators. Really, random numbers are random. Okay, here we go. Picking again. Bam. Elwyn Moon, again. Totally not rigged. See you at the Renaissance Fair again this year, Elwin? And that dress you gave my daughter is still hanging in the closet. My wife keeps seeing it. She holds it up occasionally to see where Maxine rates on it. But totally not rigged. All right, let me go over here. Let's see, Mad Jock. Let me do... Uh-oh, there's my alarm. Widow... Oh. What's that thing called? Gothic Mansion. Gothic. Oh, already got a couple of them. All right, there you go. Bam. Oh, it sent to the wrong person there. Mad Jock. Here we go. Hold on. We're almost done here. Congrats. All right, then we got one for you. Congrats. There you go, Elwin. It has been sent. Guys, it has been a pleasure today. Make sure and get your questions in line for the 2020 stuff. I was really expecting to be more grilled on specific features of the 2020 thing. A lot of those things I tried to put in like a paragraph kind of describing it, but I think you guys know what most of them were. But again, I was expecting a lot more specific questions on that stuff. So you have failed me. Let's go raid somebody, even though you have failed me. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see, we'll do the usual try to be fair and roll 5. A 2. Skeggy Media. Skeggy. Sorry, Z, not today. Looks like you're in Tartarus down there, Z. Skeggy is getting my raid. Well deserved. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I'll be on Friday. I may do 2 hours on Friday. I'll try to get an extra long stream for you guys to answer some questions. So get your tough 2020 questions ready. Do go enjoy the list of things. If you see things that really stand out to you as should be sooner or why are you doing this, feel free to give me that feedback as well. I am always open to it. Something I'm actually, as you guys have seen, even though I do set some crazy timelines for things, I do sometimes get them done earlier than expected. One of the things I'm thinking about moving up is I have thought through it enough that I kind of know what needs to happen for it. That I think will improve quality of life for a lot of people out there and open up some new player events is the raid system, which really, after looking into it, is just going to be the ability to expand parties beyond 8 people and move away from the 8 people thing. So again, that's one that I've looked into the details on it. I think I can do that pretty easy. I'm not going to say it's R74, but I'm going to get that in pretty soon. It is long overdue, and it's one of those things too that even with my limited time to play, I've seen the side effects of not having that stuff. It is painful trying to do big events, but we're about to be forced to raid. So guys, thank you so much. Let's go to raid Skeggy Media. See you Friday.